The David Pakman Show subreddit is approaching 34,000 subscribers, it's the most subscribed David Pakman Show subreddit in the world. In fact, that's true. It's a meaningless statement, but it is true. DavidPakman.com/Reddit. A few interesting posts I spotted this morning. Many of you know that I like to joke around about restaurants and food-related things and whatnot. And the other day, I tweeted about, 90% jokingly, but also 10% seriously. Why is all the anti-mask stuff happening at places like Applebee's and Burger King and whatever? And a bunch of people got mad and said I'm being bougie and elitist and all these different things. But it's sort of a real question. And I spotted a post on the subreddit from user Colleaga3 who said, David, this is why Applebee's exists despite sucking. David, you're right to be baffled at the existence, let alone popularity of Applebee's, because no, their food is not anything special, nor is it cheap. That's an important thing. Applebee's isn't cheap. You're able to see it that way because, like me, you are not an alcoholic. That is the key to success for these crappy chains like Applebee's, Chili's, Ruby Tuesdays, TGIF Fridays, etc. The word grill is a dog whistle for people who want to get drunk more than they want to eat, but need to keep up appearances. So rather than go to a bar or liquor store where the goal is obvious, they can go somewhere and order food they'll barely touch to avoid buzz killing and flood themselves with beer or margarita or whatever. I've learned this from a lifetime of having closeted alcoholic friends. And when I would suggest we go to a restaurant for its wonderful food, if they didn't serve booze, friends would think of some excuse, not in the mood for whatever, and suggest one of these putrid chains instead. A very interesting fact is that even God-fearing dry counties can be bought by these corporate booze troughs via the local Chamber of Commerce. I used to live in Conway, Arkansas, which is dry. Wow, that's crazy. And as far back as I knew, the only way to get drunk was drive to the next county for their liquor stores or be a member of the VFW club. Oh, there's another thing you don't have. Young children. Grills always have a kids menu. So you can kill two birds with one stone. Shut the brats' faces up with dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets or whatever. Drink yourself stupid and they then drive home. This is very on point. I don't think I have much of a comment other than I continue to be completely against the concept of a kid's menu. In my mind, and if I have kids and I go against this, you can all troll me. In my mind, kids' menu means what the adults are eating, but a smaller portion. If I go back on that at some point in the future, you all have the right to make fun of me. Another interesting post from the David Pakman Show subreddit from Samael Majer. Serious question, are there any prominent left-wing self-help figures? This is a good topic. And Samael writes, there may be a ton and I'm oblivious, but when I scan my media landscape, the types of people that mix in self-help talk and ideas most frequently are people like Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, and Jocko Willink, figures like Louis Rossmann, who ostensibly has a channel themed around repairs, but wades into life lessons he's learned, and he's a libertarian bro. These kinds of figures seem so numerous on the right, enjoy talking about their experiences and how others can avoid their pitfalls and help themselves. And again, where are the people offering this life advice who are on the left? I've seen David do it, but rarely. Seems more of a sense and focus on systems and less of a focus on the individual. I know that's a basic difference between left and right frames. The most left-wing person I'm aware of that goes into experiences and lessons is ironically Destiny. Yeah, so I have a couple thoughts on this. First of all, is Deepak Chopra left-wing? Like, I think Deepak Chopra is a total pseudoscience charlatan, 1,000%. But is he sort of considered left-wing? He's like in the woo-woo left, but that's just one thought I have. But I think that what may be at play here is it's less about, so one aspect is the concept of self-help is based around the individual rather than systems. It's how do you act to help yourself. If self-help were to be about changing systems, it's less about self because it's not about what one individual can really do. So by its nature, self-help is going to be based around what can you do for yourself, either in actions or in reorienting your thinking about things. But there's another aspect, I think, that skews the self-help world outside of the woo-woo away from the left, which is Leftists, I believe, are less interested in the idea of here is a person who has the answers. There's an aspect of when we look at, I've talked about left-wing cults of personality a little bit, like there has been a cult of personality to some degree around Bernie. That doesn't mean every Bernie supporter is part of the cult, understand. There was certainly a cult of personality around Andrew Yang. Tulsi, although I don't think she's really on the left, there was a very big cult of personality around her. But for the most part, if your idea is this one person has the answers, that's the right-wing idea. The Trump literally said it, only I can fix it, and his followers fell for it. People like, Tony Robbins, who my understanding is certainly skews right, or Jordan Peterson, or all these others. Part of it is you have to believe that one person has the solutions and the answers, and that is an idea, in my experience, that appeals more to the right than the left. So I think that that's a part of it as well. One last post I spotted, Daz Werver wants to get the OG David Pakman theme music back on the show. Here's the problem. I don't know which is the OG theme music. So I will consider changing the theme music, but you've got to email me with a link to the theme music you're talking about. And I, in all seriousness, I will consider it, but you've got to let me know which theme music you're referring to. Join the discussion on Reddit at davidpakman.com/Reddit.